Hello, my name is Brooke Williams, and I am discussing consumers in the new normal era. Online education is the focus. So we'll just be discussing the effects on consumers through COVID-19, especially on education or secondary education. I think COVID created a lot of fear for a lot of consumers, not only for education, but through all aspects of life, and especially in schooling because it caused a lot of universities to shut down their housing programs and force many to attend online classes, which created a rise in online secondary education. As you can see from my left, there is this graph, a percentage of undergraduate students who enrolled in online courses from the fall of 2019 versus the fall of 2020. As you can see, there's online only, at least one online course, and no online courses. We'll focus on online only and no online courses, especially. So in 2019, it was 18% online only and 63% no online courses. And then in the fall of 2020, there was 46% online only compared to a decrease from 63% to 26% of no online courses. So as you can tell, it did create a large change in how people viewed online courses and how people continued their education because there weren't many other options than to take at least one online course, if not multiple, as you can see from at least one online course is also rising. So COVID did have a massive effect on consumers, especially in the education realm, and it was interesting to see how it'll play out moving forward. Not only did it affect consumers, but it also affected marketers, especially universities. It was interesting to see how universities had to adapt to such a change. They didn't have any time to prepare for things like this, and there were growing pains for sure. However, I think they did a very good job. They changed their focused more on online advertising, such as television viewing, streaming services, social platforms, and gaming. I think you could see things all online, especially because they knew so many people were going to be locked up in their houses and on their computers,
My
on
name
their
is Suzanne
tablets, on their
Spalding.
phones.
I am a marketing major, and I have
advertising
been in the
things such
BBA
as
online
Snapchat
program
and Instagram
for
and
2
Facebook
semesters now.
and
I work
Twitter and all of
full-time as
these
an IT
things,
project
and
manager,
Twitch and
so
YouTube
balancing full-time
and
work
Netflix
and
and
full-time
things like
school
that.
is no easy
All
task.
those types
It's
of
only
platforms
accomplishable
was
through
very
time
effective
management
because
and
so many people were
organization.
using things
Being
like
part of
that,
the
and if
online
they hadn't
BBA
used them
program,
before,
it's just a
they were
perfect
forced
setting
to use things
for
because
the
you weren't going
non-traditional
out
student like
to
myself.
movies and
If it was
watching
necessary for me to drive down to
and watching
school and
movies in
attend
the movie
in-person
theater anymore. You
classes,
were having
I
to watch
could do
Netflix. You were
2
having to
classes
watch
a semester
Hulu.
at
You
most.
weren't
With this online BBA
going
program,
outside
I'm
to
going to
play with friends.
graduate
You were playing on
in
video
2
games.
years
You
as
were
if I was a full-time student.
scrolling through Twitter and Facebook
I
and
like
Instagram for your
learning at my
news,
own
things
pace.
like that.
I'm pretty motivated and fairly disciplined.
So I think they did a very
So
good job
having the
of
option to take 4 or
adapting.
5 classes
As
at
you
a
can
time
see
while
from
I'm
this
working
video
full-time
that I
has
have
been
here.
the huge benefit for me. And what I like is the class structure. Being online and working with professors who are used to online students, it's like I'm expecting the organization and they're bringing that organization, and that works really well for me. You know, it's not any easier than going to an in-person class. In fact, it might be slightly more difficult in your personal discipline that's needed to be held accountable to the deliverables and the dates. If it was necessary for me to drive down to school and attend in-person classes, I could do 2 classes a semester at most with this online BBA program.
So although this video is meant for more post-COVID enrollment, I think you still gain a lot from it because I still think they continue to focus on a non-traditional student, which I think nowadays, I think most people are non-traditional students. I think everybody has a family, everybody has a job, everybody has very complex schedules, and so online schooling allows for the flexibility to do more with your time and to allow you to do things from home. And COVID kind of pushed that forward and into a new lens, which is why I think I'm so interested in online education, is because I was able to partake in secondary education before, during, and after schooling, after COVID. I think it's interesting to see how, before COVID hit, most of my classes, if not all of them, were in person and mandatory in person, and there wasn't even an option to take the classes online. Now, after COVID, post COVID, you're able to take even your upper level classes online for the most part. And so it's just interesting to see on whether they keep adapting and growing towards that, or if they try to get everybody back in classrooms. And depending on what they decide, it'll be interesting on how that affects enrollment, and especially for big universities such as UT Tyler or UT Austin or Texas A&M. It'll be interesting to see how that affects people and how they move forward with their lives. Speaking of moving forward, I think a high percentage of online courses continues. I think most universities will allow a lot of people to take online courses just because, like I said, there's a focus on flexibility from online courses. I think with so many people with so many different lives and so many different things to do, I think it just allows for the most enrollment. And, obviously, I think everybody would, in a perfect world, everybody would love to get everybody back in class, but I just don't think after COVID that's going to be a thing. And as you can see, even a school such as Syracuse, which is a very large school, it says online on your time, and even they are still continuing to advertise for online courses and the flexibility that comes with it. And so I think it's very important to realize that and to see that. These are the citations from the information that I was able to achieve and the video and graphs that you saw.